Alright, so now we're moving into the basically fighting from your back. So trying to get up, trying to stand up, you've been taken to the ground, the other persons are still stood. Okay, and this is a common situation that you'll find. You know, you watch any kind of YouTube clips, you work any kind of time in security, you'll see this a lot. Unfortunately, the days of somebody, you know, punching somebody and leaving it at that, shaking hands afterwards and having a drink are kind of gone. What happens now is if you hit the floor, they will stamp on you, they will kick you, their mates will join in, they will all kick you. You know, so basically it's a really, really shitty place to find yourself. Now, again, what you'll often hear is people saying, well, we train to get up. Yeah, we don't concentrate on the ground because that's not where we want to be. It's like, yeah, well, I don't want a mortgage, I don't want to pay bills, I don't want a lot of things. Shit happens, right? The reality of it is you're going to get taken to the ground in the real world quite often. You know, you might slip, you might fall, it might be uncomfortable ground, you might be in the wrong shoes, right? So you may be a super skilled stand-up striker and you can hold people at bay, but can you hold 3 or 4 people at bay that are rushing you? Not like in the movies, one at a time, when they're all coming together. And so we have to work on those skills as well. So what we're looking at with this is we're looking at some positions where we can hopefully, you know, better where we are. So we've hit the ground, we've been taken to the ground for whatever reason. You know, I'm not suggesting it's anybody's fault or weakness or they've done something wrong, because like I said, shit happens, right? So we're there. How do we deal with it? That's the important point right now. How do we deal with that? All right, so now we're going to look at basically an ankle roll. Right, now, again, quite often you'll see people kicking each other, you know, in the head, and mates joining in, all that kind of stuff. Now, sometimes what will happen is people will ball up. Other times they will try to get to their feet. Now, we did look earlier on at our catalogue pose and sort of the preferred way of standing up, but life isn't always like that, and so we've just got to be aware that, you know, we could end up in this situation. So what we're looking at here is a position where I'm, you know, face down on my hands and knees, and I'm being kicked, right? So if I'm here like this, and this is my position, this is how I've ended up. Now, if he's kicking me here, and I try to stand up from this point, so if I'm here and I try to stand up here, and I use my hands and I push up like this, I'm really leaving myself open and I'm really in a bad position, okay? So, here what I'm going to do is what we call an ankle roll. So I'm going to latch onto his ankle and I'm going to basically roll towards him. And again, what I'm doing is I'm using this knee joint. I'm locking off the ankle and I'm using the knee joint, okay? So from this position, look, here I am, look, he's kicking. So I reach this arm under, okay, whichever leg I can get, right? I reach this arm, it goes under here. Right, now the reason it goes under here is because if I try and reach out like this, I've got to stick my head up. Alright, so I want to be here, look. So I reach my hand out and I just look to grab an ankle. Now as soon as I grab an ankle, I drop and roll my body. Drop, roll. Okay, so what I'm doing, look, just take your stance a minute. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing the ankle and I'm rolling my back muscle up his leg. So from here, just stay still so I can show. Right, so from here, I'm grabbing. And then what I'm doing, look, is I'm straightening my leg, I'm dropping like this, look, and I'm rolling up his leg, see? Okay, and it's simple, it's simple in the way that it works, but obviously it's not simple in the sense that as if somebody's actually really kicking you in the head, nothing remains simple at that point, right? So, again, good one to practice. Now, here, look, just show it one more time. So I'm in my position here, the person's kicking, the person's trying to kick me in the head, what have you. So what I'm looking to do is trap a leg. So I shoot my arm through, okay? So what I'm looking to do here is look, trap through, right here. Now just drop, boom, and roll. Now again, what I do from there depends on what sort of skill sets I have, what I already know, okay? But what I'm also looking to do is create a gateway. Right, so if we've got numbers, so if there's 4 or 5 guys and they're surrounding me and they're all stamping and kicking, by taking somebody out in these ways, I'm aiming to go the same direction as that person. So where that person falls is where I'm headed. I want to get out of the middle of that bundle. I want to be out of that central point, you know, where they're kicking and stamping on me there. So I'm going to use the gateway that I make there by taking the person down. I'm going to use that as an escape route, and I'm going to follow them. So if I'm here and I do this, okay, so if I come to this position and I'm rolling here, boom, as he rolls, so I'm going to follow him up. Okay? So I'm looking to use that and get gone.